All right. Hey guys, Wine
Yeah,
Wednesday.
here you
We are.
go. Good evening, Madame Boucher. How are ya?
I'm well, and you, Monsieur Boucher?
Good. Instagram, Facebook, across the country. That it's awesome. We are here live from Caledon, BC, in the Okanagan Valley. So welcome, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members. Hope everyone is doing well on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock p.m. here. Mira, how's it going?
It's great. I just had a full day of Zoom meetings. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. And they were great, but I am really excited to try this wine now. So I
There
hope
you
that
go. So,
if you're
what did
tuning
you
in and
get?
you're in the same boat, you're in the same boat, tell us what's in your glass. Yeah, see, there's Glenn. Wahoo! That's right, Glenn.
There you go. So, what do you get when you have a full day? Because I can tell everyone here who is tuning in that Mira sat down almost in the haddock of that 100-year-old house that we're renting in Caledon at 7:30 this morning. She came downstairs to go to the bathroom twice during the whole day. So she spent 8 hours on the top floor of that little house. So now, when you do that, Mira has a perks, has a I would say as a bonus for your great day. You get a 10-year-old Cabernet Sauvignon from the Golden Mile in BC from Oliver. So the Jackpot 2011 Jackpot Cabernet from Road 13. That's what you got when you have that kind of a day.
That's right.
So
That's right.
cheers.
I'm excited. That's great.
Cheers, enjoy.
Cheers.
So cheers, cheers, cheers. So everyone who are tuning in right now, welcome. And this is today the Carl and Mira show. And today we are talking about Road 13. This is our the collector edition feature of this month, and we're going to talk about three outstanding wine who have been already aged for you in the cellar at Road 13. And yeah, we're having a 2011 Jackpot Cabernet, a 2013 Jackpot Petit Verdot, and also the 2013 Syrah Mourvedre and the splash of Grenache. So we're going to talk about all of that. Um, so what do you think of the wine?
I've just smelled it and it smells amazing. Your microphone,
Yeah,
by the way, is kind of doing some stuff. So if anyone hears that, let us know. Hopefully it'll go away. But yeah, the nose is amazing. It's just making some staticky garble. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, it's because how about if I back off like that? How's that?
That's good too. Yeah, it actually stopped. Like so.
Okay, well that sounds good. That's why you did that face.
It was just having a
Great.
moment, you know. It needs a glass of wine
Yeah,
too.
Like, oh my God, is someone under the bed on the other side who's biting your toes or what? Okay, so across the country, you guys, Canadian wine lovers, hope everyone is doing well. So 4 o'clock here in BC. We spent the last well, I've been in BC now for 2 weeks almost. Mira and the boys just drove last Friday, so we are right now in Caledon. Caledon, for people who don't know, let's talk about like for everyone here in Canada. So I'm not just gonna talk about people from BC. So in Canada, there you go, you guys. So Caledon, it's located between Kelowna and Oliver. Okay, you got the two extreme of the Okanagan Valley. In the middle, you have Summerland, Penticton, and right past Penticton, you have on the bench of the Skaha Lake, you have Caledon on one side, and on the other side is Okanagan Fall. So here we are in Caledon. We had some pretty cool time with our friend Rob Amersley at Black Market last Sunday. It was Saturday, I guess. The little happy hour at Black Market with Rob and Michelle. It was pretty cool. And now when we got here to Caledon, we realized that we were 3-minute drive from Black Market. So I say, hey, why not go try some? Rob just finished a nice bottling session. So there was some good rosé Syrah to taste that was just bottled. So it was pretty good. We tasted the new vintage of the Secret Society, the 2019. We just read. And yeah, other than that, what else did we try? Oh, the Bacchus, 100% Bacchus white. So that was another pretty good. So we spending time here, visiting friends at wineries, tasting some new stuff, and enjoying that pretty cool life near the beach here on the Skaha Lake, right on the Skaha Bench. So here we are. So I have a pretty good following here on my side on Instagram. You guys have been pretty good to us, growing and growing and growing. So we are nearing now 750 followers on Instagram. It's been a fight. It's been a big push on Instagram for now a couple months, and it's growing. We're doing well. So I hope you guys. I will show you here on Instagram what I have. The Road 13 Jackpot Cabernet Sauvignon 2011. That's what I have here. So I would like to say hi to a few people who just joined us here on Instagram. Corbin's Cooking here is from Delta, BC. He has a glass of Covert Farms 2018, the Amicitia. So hopefully you're enjoying your wine, Corbin's Cooking. Edophil is with us. Is saying cheers. And we have Kelowna Magazine just joined us. Hope you guys are doing well in Kelowna. I spent all week last week in Kelowna tasting wine with our friend Effie Perrell at Tender Hope. We also visited some of our friends at Mount Boucherie. By the way, I have a surprise for all of you tomorrow. Should I talk about it a little later, Mira, or?
Yeah, it's just people are saying you're having bandwidth issues, and I am not picking them up. Just the sound was a little odd, so I'm going to check in on that. Are you guys hearing and seeing me okay? Is it just Carl's computer? Because what that means is the computer just doesn't, they're just having want to give Carl a hard time.
Okay.
You, if you're hearing us, because there's a bit of a lag, if you're hearing us, is Carl still breaking up? Are we both breaking up? Sorry, guys. This is perhaps a new thing for us, being not in the city, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe, eh? It's not like, even if I would like to be plugged in the wall, I can't because there's no plugged in up here, so...
Yeah, there's actually literally no plugs. It's literally 100-year-old house.
So you tell me if I have to switch only to my phone, and we'll have to kibosh our friends on Instagram right now, and I don't want to do that because they've been so good to us, Instagram.
Yeah. So here's what I'll suggest. If we have it happen again, please put it in the comments. And if the audio is wonky again, I'm just going to move you to this phone, Carl, okay?
I'm having Angelica here and saying that this sounds better now. So maybe.
And this is my favorite comment, Daryl. Daryl, you said Mira is perfect. Like, I think that's such a great comment because it's just like a double entendre, right?
Always. That's something we're used to around here. Yes, Mira's perfect. We all know that. Everything is perfect. Yes, sure, absolutely. Okay, so I hear on Instagram they said that we sound pretty good on Instagram. So anyhow, so I will get I'll get going on the collector offer because that's basically why we're here this week. collector offer. I think it's our sixth edition of the collector offers feature. Pretty cool. This week we're doing 3 wines. Road 13 was our choice, and I will tell you why it was our choice, because Barclay, the winemaker, have decided to take me down to the cellar at Road 13, and we went and choose 3 different wines from the library. We dig as deep as 2011, and we pulled out 2 Jackpot and 1 Syrah Mourvedre, and I was so excited to feature these back vintage. And when you have the chance to work with, to know the reputation of Road 13 for so long now, like they've been established for 25 years. They were one of the first to be like very, very well established in Oliver, developing the Golden Miles. Not only the Golden Miles, but planting in the Similkameen, and I really like their slogans, and it's all about the dirt. But because yes, it is with Road 13, it is all about the dirt. I like their single vineyard project. I like how they work with the Rhone varietal. What I mean for Rhone varietal here, it's the typical grape that made the Rhone Valley in France famous. Let's say the Syrah, the Mourvedre, the Grenache, the Roussanne, Marsanne, so the Viognier. So these are the famous grapes from the Rhone Valley in France who made this very region what it is today for 200 years. And Road 13 was like by far the first to work with the Rhone varietal. So, Mira, do you have any update for me? How do we sound from up here, or it's still pretty choppy and not a whole lot? I have Mira's coming over, and we're going to see if I can keep going that way, or if I have to switch up on something.
Yeah, I think you should switch. So just turn this off.
Okay.
And sorry, guys, we're just going to. Okay. So you look a little different.
See? Well, I look a little different. Love it. Love it. That's good. Hey, don't flip the computer.
No.
Okay. Oh, there you go. So I'm with you guys. Hi, Mira. How's it going? So Instagram, great. I don't have to go anywhere. So you guys are with me for the rest of the show. And Mira, how do I sound from here?
Whoops. Good. Yes. Sorry about that, you guys. Sometimes these things happen.
Perfect. Glad to hear. So yeah, so let's get back to Road 13 and how they were established back in Oliver. And for people who have traveled, who have not traveled the south of the Okanagan Valley, so for people who know, when you drive on the Highway 97 all the way down to Osoyoos, at the end of the Golden Miles, you have that. If you look up on your right, driving south to Osoyoos, you have that view, that old castle, and the old castle is the first Road 13 winery. Now they just built a really modern facility right beside the old castle, but obviously they're keeping the old castle for cachet and for special event. But the cellar has been transferred now to the brand new facility. So to give you an idea, now you have Intersection, Checkmate, Culmina, and Road 13 is right there on the same side, right? Like sitting on the Golden Miles. The Golden Miles was the first sub-GA in Western Canada. And this is a hot place to grow grapes. So if you want to look for a big juicy Merlot, big juicy Syrah, and you have the Black Sage Road right across. Here you go. Thank you, Mira. Beautiful. That's the old castle. And if people opened our email this week, you can see on my little video, I went right in front of it and I did my little video there. And with that picture that Mira just posted, the new facility is just behind it. If you go around, that's the front door that you see here. You go around from the front, and you have the home vineyard right in front of the castle, and on the other side, it's the new facility. But down below, there's the cellar, and we went down there and we choose, what I just mentioned, the 2013. Here, the 2013 Syrah Mourvedre, and there's also a little, it's 85% Syrah, 12% Mourvedre, and 3% Grenache in there. 155 cases produced back in 2013. I cracked that wine earlier this week with one of our guests at Taste Buds, Clay Martin, who they are pretty active in the on the Facebook page. A lot of good wine connoisseur, wine lover, pretty much all from Western Canada. But they're sharing tasting notes on that Facebook pages. Anyway, Clay and I have been going back and forth on Facebook and exchanging tasting notes and all that, and finding Clay saw a couple of our pictures that we were in the Okanagan. He reached out to me and said, hey, it's time to meet. So he drove from Osoyoos all the way to Kaliden, and we had a couple of good bottles, tasting some wines, chatting about the Canadian wine industry, the dynamic, the future of the business. It was a pretty cool conversation. I don't know what you think. We thought about our conversation with Clay, Mira, but it was that was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. Just so cool I think it's going to become quite the novelty and quite the thing. Like when we can start seeing people in person again, it'll be like rediscovering some of the joys of life, right?
Absolutely. You know what? Like, how was that to cook for someone else than just ourselves? We had a guest over. It was something like, oh my God, something's coming. Someone's coming over.
We kind of forgot how to do it. I think we made like 3 times the food we needed, and then we forgot to bring most of it outside. So
that's true, right? Like after food that we cooked, we forgot to bring it out. Yeah, so it was a couple days ago.
Hopefully, more of that to come.
It was a couple days ago, and I had so we cracked that beautiful 2013, and when I got from that Syrah Mourvedre. So now we're at 8 years of age. It's been sitting there for 8 years, and it was the smoothness. The wine was so smooth. The wine had a beautiful peppery, I would say dark plum as well. Very, very long finish. So it was extremely interesting. And it's not like if you have a big, what's going on?
Sorry, your screen went black. Sorry, guys.
Your screen went black too.
No, I just left.
So Instagram never down. So yeah. Softness, pepper, peppery, more on the thing. And I feel like the wine. I felt. Oh, 105. And there's such a hot terroir, and 2013 is a hot vintage as well. So I can how the big photo was right out of the tree, but I would say that years now into the process, that one soft, long, peppery, dark, white. So it was really wine. Oh, wow.
My goodness. My goodness. So he's not there at all anymore. Geez, what's going on today? No one's hearing Carl, hey? He's not there? No. Wow.
You weren't actually in properly. Oh my goodness.
There you go. So see here. Hey, Instagram has been the most reliable tonight. So hopefully we'll start to do the in-person event that we've been dreaming for since we started the club. That was the whole purpose of the club. It's to bring wine lover from all across the country together. Oh, by the way, I'm having a meeting tomorrow with our guy who's planning the wine trip. So Christian and I are gonna have a call tomorrow at noon to chat about the September Carl's Wine Club wine trip in the Okanagan. So if things keep going that way, I'm pretty confident that that trip will be a go. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And yes, the south of the Okanagan, aka the Oliver Osoyoos region, will be something that we're going to visit, because again, this terroir is really, really special. And what we have here with Road 13, that's what it is. It's all about terroir. It's all about the dirt. It's all about the different single vineyard, from the Similkameen to their home vineyard, Oliver, and they also have some stuff on the Black Sage Bench. So yeah, the stuff that you get from Road 13, it's Rhone inspired for the most part. But what we picked for this week collector feature was not all across the board Rhone inspired. I went with two of the wine who were extremely intriguing to me. And before I jump to the wine that I have in my glass here tonight, the 2011 Jackpot Cabernet Sauvignon, I want to talk about the 2013 Jackpot Petit Verdot, because Petit Verdot is becoming more and more of a big hit on the market. It's a dark, grippy, powerful kind of grape with lots of complexity, lots of depth, and so yeah. And when I saw that 2013 here available, and they say, yeah, Carl, you have maybe like 60 to 75 bottles that we can play with, it was a go. And it was the first bottle that I tasted of all of the three, and I gave it a 94 points for a couple reasons. First, yes, the depth and the complexity, and so depth and complexity, finish with the dark, inky, peppery. There was so much going on in that wine that I don't even think that I have enough of 1 hour to describe the whole thing. Just on the nose, I probably spent like 25 minutes trying to gather the whole thing, from licorice to earth and dirt and flint, and also the pepper, the clove. And on the palate, it was like also like, yes, licorice on the palate, coffee, dark chocolate, dark plum. There's so much going on. And the finish, like I mentioned, like extremely spicy, but not extremely. No, it's not the right thing. Very well balanced, spicy, and the length was just going on and on and on. So I give it a 94 point. And yeah, so I have Mike here is asking a question. Mike, the average wine enthusiast, Mike is in Ontario, is following up, and Mike also have his own wine show on YouTube. You guys should give him a check because he's pretty good at what he does. And he's asking, you don't see much Petit Verdot for sale as a single varietal, and I completely agree, Mike. Petit Verdot is well known for a long time to be a filler grape. Bordeaux used it for centuries as a filler. Napa Valley started to grow Petit Verdot as a filler only like on bad years, or some years they had trouble with color with their Cabernet Sauvignon. They were throwing 3, 4, 5% of Petit Verdot, get the color darker, and had a little bit more on the finish, and boom. So Petit Verdot, as my buddy Steve used to always says, this is the cheater grape. If you use Petit Verdot in your Cabernet blend, that's mean you don't know how to do your Cabernet. That's funny because Steve, my buddy Steve, is a big collector from Napa Valley, and he has that thing for Petit Verdot. And now I'm bugging him to say, hey, you should try Petit Verdot on its own. And like Mike said, you don't see that so much. So here, and not only you don't see my Petit Verdot as a single varietal so much, but geez, a back vintage Petit Verdot now, it's something even more rare, even something that you can barely see on the market. So maybe like, I don't know how many vineyard does Petit Verdot varietal here in the south of the Okanagan, because obviously Petit Verdot do not grow in the northern part of the Okanagan. This is a late ripening grapes. You have to leave the grapes on the vines until mid-November almost. So it's a late ripening grape. I think Mooncursor does a Petit Verdot. There's Road 13 does a Petit Verdot. And like you guys, you tell me, people who are listening right now, our listener, like, please shoot me some names of Petit Verdot, a single varietal out there. But I would say when I saw 2013 Petit Verdot, we can ask Mira, like I was so excited to get our hand on that wine. It was, yeah, pretty cool. So
I know,
yeah.
in the club we featured Petit Verdot early on. It was Seaside Pearl. They did 100% Petit Verdot.
Seaside Pearl, yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. From their fruits were sourced in the Similkameen. You're absolutely right. And that's something that you see here with our Petit Verdot. It's not this one. It's not Golden Miles appellation. It's not Okanagan Valley appellation. It's Similkameen Valley VQA. So all of the fruit is from their vineyard in the Similkameen, and obviously like Similkameen, really hot, longer seasoned on there, very well suited for either the Rhone varietal, but also for the Petit Verdot. So very special wine. So far, I would say it's probably the highest wine that I have rated since we started our new season, our new year, our calendar year, the Carl's Wine Club calendar year, after releasing our top 10 and our favorite wine of the year from last year, a month ago. So that 94 points Petit Verdot from Road 13 just topped the list so far. Something really spectacular. Also, the last one, the one that I have here in my glass tonight, is the 2011 Jackpot Cabernet Sauvignon, 100% cab from mostly the Golden Mile. This wine, and it's so much fun to see some wine with now 10 years of age. I know that for me, I'm not typically the guy who age my wine too long. I have something with the secondary aromas where I'm not always pleased with the touch of oxidation. I like my wine with energy. I like my wine with tension. I like my wine with some grip and pull if it's a full body grape varietal. So you know, so I tend to drink our we tend to taste our wine early on. So it was very interesting. And before I start describing, I would like Mira to talk about it a little bit, because there's a thing going on right now in our social media. It's the Mira scale. It's going viral right now. Okay, people are talking more about how Mira rates wine than how I rate wine.
You're hilarious. You're
No,
so
honestly, Mira, I
fun.
really, really like what you said earlier when you have your first couple sip when you're done your meeting. So please, can you repeat what you said earlier? I thought it was brilliant, and yeah.
So that's hilarious. Yes, and I think Linda's on. Thanks, Linda, for
Is she?
promulgating the Mira scale. She referenced it this week, and I laughed so hard. Which is basically, do you like it or not? And if you do, how many glasses or bottles would you want to drink of it?
But funny
anyway,
enough, Mira, I think we should make a T-shirt out of it. We should
really?
start to sell T-shirts, the Mira scales of wine or something like that. I still need to.
What is the
No?
top of the Mira scale? Is it a bottle, a full bottle to myself or something? Because then you could say, I'm a full
Yeah,
bottle
I
to
think
myself
so.
kind of
I
person.
think so.
Yeah.
The top scale is
I
like
don't know.
the full bottle. Anyway, what do you think of that one?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I've only tried a few really aged wines, if that. So the one that's most memorable was actually a few weeks ago at the Black Hills event that we hosted in Calgary at the Marriott. And we created a socially distanced event with like 90 people, if you can believe that, completely contactless, but in the same atrium. It was pretty cool. So on that occasion, we cracked open, what was it, a 2006, Carl?
Yep, that was the 06 Nota Bene.
A 2006 Nota Bene, and we weren't sure if it was going to be still, drinkable because it's pretty old, but it was amazing. It was just out of this world. And I'm getting a few of those kinds of aromas on the nose with this one too. The best thing I can describe it is that was also the first night I tried port. Thanks to Jared and Lisa for that. And it had sort of like port kind of aromas, like very aromatic, but I can't I don't know how you describe it, but it's definitely, to me, I'm like, oh, this is aged, because I can reference that 2006 Nota Bene and it has the same kind of aged characteristics. And then when I taste it, I'm getting good at the swishing around. I watched my kids the other day. I'm like, oh, they do it way better than I do. So let's go for it now.
Even Josh, our oldest, is getting good as well with his iced tea.
Yeah, so he says, Mom, you just pretend like you're chewing on the wine while you keep your lips shut. Oh, perfect. So yeah, I would say Xavier's saying dried pruny fruit. Yeah, maybe something like that. And Linda says that my rating scales worked for her for years. So see, it's a tried and tested method. Yeah, it almost reminds me of, so in Romania, we had this thing called vișinată, which is sour cherries that are kind of like aged for a long time, right? So it's a little bit like that, like tart sour cherry, but and I can't get over how smooth it is. And then the length at the end is, it really develops. It goes into a few different flavors, right? Which is special. Like some wines you just get one or two, but this is like, I could think about this for a while. So that's my thoughts. Angelica's from Romania. Oh, I grew up in Bucharest.
There you go.
There you
go. So now what I get in here, it's really like, and you mentioned a couple of times here, it's really special. First and foremost, There's a beautiful, bright acidity who is still up in that wine. This is not something where there's only some fruit left at the beginning. There's a beautiful, bright acidity. And there's a length in there, and absolutely like a little bit like I mentioned about the Syrah Mourvedre. It's not dense anymore. It's like it went on the length. And I really appreciate the fact that no, there's not that these tertiary aromas where now I feel like if I'm drinking something who's about to die. Absolutely not. There's a lot of life left in that wine. I would say this wine right now, it's right in the middle of his maximum window of drinkability. There's everything's softened up. It's really soft. It's really it's like the beautiful acidity. There's some spice, but I feel like if I'm drinking a little bit more towards an old world wine, that if I close my eyes, I'm not directly going on the Golden Miles. I'm not directly going into somewhere rich and dense. I feel more about graphite. I really like the black currant. There's no sweet fruit in there. It's more on the dark fruit, but the graphite and the pencil shaving is getting more obvious in there. So I really like, I just got my nose in there and it's like, wow, I feel like if I just sharpened my pencil at school back in grade 11. This is and there's a little bit of earthiness as well. And then when we're talking, it's all about the dirt, absolutely. And I can smell the dirt in here. So it's dirty. It's the tannin are very soft, very round, but very present. So I wish right now that I would have a nice piece of meat that I can bite in there, nothing too fatty, but maybe a tenderloin right now with that will be absolutely perfect. So very well developed, very well preserved, because this wine has been never left the cellar of the winery, and this is beautifully aged. I would say there's easy another 5 years to go in there before you hit the back end of the curve. So yeah, an absolute beauty. I really enjoy that. A little bit of the old world in my glass tonight.
It is, and I'm enjoying with my Romanian friend here. So this is what we say in Romania before we drink wine. Hai noroc și sănătate, right? That means good luck and good health. And the other thing that's come up is, so I mentioned that Vișinată, that's like a sour cherry that you find in Eastern Europe, right? It's wonderful, and it's really good for sleep. So like if you have sleeping issues, you drink some Vișina juice or that sort of thing. Anyway, so I'm looking for it. So if you know anyone in Niagara area or Okanagan that has some European sour cherries, I would be really interested in doing a huge group buy of that.
There's a beautiful spice also, some peppery finish who keeps going and going and going. There's a beautiful length on that. And that's, to me, what I'm noticing the most with these two wines, about these three wines. It's how, and I often find that from wines from Oliver, especially their Merlot, they're very dense and compact. This is something that's really rich, a lot of texture, but they're really compact. And now what I'm seeing with the age, the wine are just getting longer and longer with more finesse. And that's something I was looking at. I missed. I didn't mention it yet. But yes, this is in finesse. This Cabernet Sauvignon is not in your face. It's not a punch in the face. It's all in finesse. It's all in length. But geez, that it's interesting. It's beautiful. And again, like there's much more to come. And yeah. So if you compare the Petit Verdot, the two Jackpots are the top of the line. This is their iconic wine. This is the flagship since is it since they started or soon after they founded the winery? Jackpot. There was reference about a mine. There's a mine on north from the Okanagan Valley. It was a golden mine, and the mine was named Jackpot. And so they named their flagship wine after that mine. And obviously, we all know what's getting the jackpot means. I mean, that you found something that it's very worthy. It's mean you find something that you maybe was not expecting, but geez, that it's valuable. So that's exactly what it is. These two jackpots are absolutely spectacular. That Mourvedre Syrah, it's all in softness, silky, nice combination of softness, plum, like the beautiful Syrah from the south of the Okanagan. So this is our trio of this week collector edition feature with Road 13. So you can hit the website, order this this three beauty if you would like, if you're someone who are enjoying well-aged wine. Don't be surprised. The checkout page is a little different than usual for this week. So don't go back. If you're interested, give us a call. But yeah, for this week, the checkout is a little different, but we're going back to normal starting tomorrow if we want. So yeah.
Yeah, so that includes custom your own pack. There's only 3 wines. So this particular one, because it's a collector offer and there's 3 in their library releases, you can't customize the pack. You can't say I only want 1 of those and 2 of those kind of thing. But that's very, very rare. Almost every other week you can. So no worries. We'll get back to that. Hey, did you see Xavier's question earlier about Blind Creek Cab Sauv?
About what?
Blind Creek Cab Sauv, if you've tried that before?
No, I didn't see his question.
We're drinking a Cab
Sauv. I didn't know that I could see all of the. Oh, okay. No, I did not.
That's okay. No, but yeah, he was just asking if you tried it. So you haven't yet. If you have, Xavier, would love to know what your thoughts are. Blind Creek Cab Sauv. Yeah, because I know that's
Blind Creek. No, I have not. Absolutely not. I haven't tasted that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Like you said, you need that warm climate, right, to do the Cab Sauv well. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's it's from Route 13 as well. Oh no, I have not tasted it, Xavier.
Yeah,
Blind
I was
Creek. Blind Creek. Maybe you refer. Maybe it's a single vineyard or something. No, I haven't tasted. But you know what? Like, to be honest, before I hit, we got back to the castle a few months ago. I have not tasted a Road 13 in many years, and when we came up with that 3-pack, to me that was enough to just go ahead and so I haven't tasted any of their younger wine as well. But I would tell you something: the old style of Road 13, what they were doing between 11 and 13 is really impressive to me. With this 10 or 8 years of age, well kept, beautiful fruit, purity of the fruit, beautiful length, beautiful softness and complexity. So yeah, nothing about all in your face, rich and powerful. It's more about finesse, complexity, and I would say subtlety. So yeah, that's what I will define this 3-pack. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But also, I wanted to talk to them about something. We're 15 minutes. We're 45 minutes into the show, and I don't know if you guys have noticed. I share an article from I think it's Wine of Niagara that I shared this weekend on our Facebook group. It was about Rust, a Rust Wine Company, who is the sister winery of Mount Bushry. There was an article on their trio of Syrah, made by the new winemaker Jeff Undermark. Jeff used to be winemaker in the Ontario region for many different wineries and big named winery. He was one of the rock star winemaker in the Ontario region. He was poached from the Okanagan from Mount Bushry and Ross to move all the way across the country to bring his knowledge to Mount Bushry. We're expanding, so Jeff made the move, and now they're doing right now a trio of Syrah. They just released their 2018. No, they haven't released yet. It's not ready on their website. They want to wait a little bit more. But anyway, Rick Van Sykel, one of the very good wine writer from the Ontario wine region, did a piece on Jeff and the trio of Syrah of Ross in Wine of Niagara. It was posted on Facebook. I shared it, and think when bananas, like I think like 25 or 30 of our members say, "Whoa, we want that!" It would be so intriguing because it's 3 Syrahs from 3 different vineyards in the south of the Okanagan. So you have 2018 Ross Syrah Similkameen, 2018 Ross Syrah Golden Mile, and 2018 Syrah, I think it's Okanagan Valley. So it's 3 appellation, same vineyard, same vintage, 3 different vineyards. So something super cool. So I posted that, and anyway, like people were like, "Oh my God, we want that." I got a phone call from the winery today. So Mira, I don't know. I don't think I mentioned it to you yet because you spent all day in meetings. But they got back to us today, and they said, if we want, we have 25 packs of 3 available for Carl's Wine Club members. So just so you know, if we want to work late tonight, we can send that to our members tomorrow or Friday morning for a special flash offer. We've never done that before, but we might want to do a quick little flash 24 hours offer. We have 25 3-packs of the same Syrah, same vintage, 3 different vineyards. So yeah,
that's cool. Because getting back to like this week's feature, Road 13, it's all about the dirt. That's what they say. And like I had this picture that I liked from their website with a couple of their vineyards, right? And you see how different that dirt is. So what does that mean, Carl? Does that mean the wines are going to be way different? How does that translate, that dirt?
Oh, absolutely. You can see on the right side, if you can pull the picture back on, like you will see, you have a very sandy soil on the right sand and a little bit more loamy, a little bit more of the dirt on the left hand. So I would tell that on the right side, it's maybe probably coming from somewhere on the Black Sage Bench. It's typically sand, a little bit more rocky. So the water goes straight across in there. Like the drainage, it's crazy. So you don't have any water in the soil. So that stressed the vines tremendously. So the vines have to work so hard, so produce some vines with some grapes with more concentration, more complexity. The one with a little bit more of the dirt, I would say, it's something with a little bit more humid, that you will see that they can't handle the water a little better. So it would give you some juicier fruit, a little softer, maybe a little bit more, juicy, or easier drinking. And you will see sometimes some great white planted in these type of dirt. Or the Merlot can come. That's where you can do a little bit more volume. That's where you can do a little bit more of your moneymaker wine out of that dirt. So instead of producing 200 cases, well, you can go up and produce 500 or 700 cases because there's more juice in the grapes. Does it make sense?
That makes sense to me, totally. And yes, so Mike's saying stress equals great grapes. So
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
absolutely. And I thought that was what's so interesting when I read the article of and Randy. That's Randy.
Rick Van Sickle. Rick Van Sickle, I
Rick
think is his
Rick
name.
Van Sickle. Yeah, to
Yeah.
see these 3 Syrahs from 3 different plot of lands in from the south of the Okanagan. So I thought it would be so cool to feature these 3 bottles from the same vintage. So anyhow, we'll have 25 boxes of that available. So we'll probably send that tomorrow or Friday. So people, you tell me if you want to reserve yours, just shoot me a note and I will send you a private link so we can get you one. It's a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah.
What else? So how about we tell our people what we've been up to in the last couple weeks around here, and what's the plan?
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
what do you mean? Oh, you mean the move, or what do you mean?
No. I'm just meaning like we're gonna go for maybe another little party at Black Market. Some of the cool wine we've drink with Rob.
Yeah.
The barrel tasting that we've been doing with Effie for
Yeah, so we did our first my first barrel tasting. I'm sure Carl has done tons of them, but it was really interesting, not just barrel tasting, but a blending session. So they had me as the the wine drinker with like who I am, very little experience with wines, and just tells you if I like it or if I don't, and that kind of thing. And so that was a lot of fun because yeah, I've just never experienced. So basically we took samples from 25 barrels, Carl? 30 barrels? Like a ton of barrels. There were a lot of barrels. They all had numbers.
I think that was probably more like 45 barrels if it's include the session that I've done last week. So including the session last week, we're probably at 60 barrels that we tasted.
Yeah, so Clay's saying blending is so much fun. So clearly he knows what we're talking about here, but it's a pretty unique thing. So yeah, we had all the numbers of each barrel, for each glass, and then we were tasting them all, ranking them all, and then we basically took the top 2 or 3 for each varietal, and we started blending them and sort of seeing, okay, if we put 1/3 of this and 2/3 of this, what happens? And it was fascinating because it totally changes it. And then it can go the other way too. There were some wines that like drew down the other wines. You could have a really excellent wine and then one that wasn't as excellent, and it could really cancel it out. So there's a real art to it. It's
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I was pretty impressed with the way you kind of pinpoint the barrel goes well together. It was pretty impressive because the best blend at the end, that's it. You made it. You made it with your little bit of the female touch with your more elegant style. At the end, the wine that you selected, the barrel that you selected was pretty spectacular.
So it was really funny because we all kind of agreed on what the best barrels were. And then when I blended my top 3, we got a really feminine kind of wine. It was sort of more elegant and more smooth. And then when the boys blended theirs, it was a lot more like in your face, like you need a steak with this wine kind of thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I thought that was fascinating too, right? Like just our preferences. Do you know what I learned today, Carl? I learned there's a museum you can go to, the Mira blend. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. I learned there is
go. The Mira's name is taking over the whole Canadian wine market, man.
So, when you think, so this is what I learned today, because I ran a leadership development session for a bunch of CEOs that I work with. And so one of the things we learned is there's actually a museum in the States, a Coca-Cola museum, and you can go taste Coca-Cola the way it is okay, Josh, please. The way it is in every country in the world, because Coca-Cola tweaks their formula for every single country to match the palate. So if you taste the stuff like from the Middle East, it'll be more bitter. If you taste the Coca-Cola from, the States, it's a little sweeter. Like, it's fascinating. So apparently you can go and you can taste like 20 flavors of Coca-Cola and see how it changes in different countries. So
that's fascinating. I didn't know that. I thought Coca-Cola was standard around the world.
Yeah, no, it's that's one of the things that makes Coca-Cola an international success is they had regional variances in the formulas to match the palate of the people. So that gets me thinking about wine. I mean, you've talked before. I think it's fascinating when you talk about the Canadian palate and the East versus the West palate, right?
Yeah.
Because there's differences and we don't drink the same kind, like we wouldn't enjoy the same kind of wine as the average American. They're different, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting, Derek. You blend the wine that you get, right? From the bottles. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, so that's what's happening. So we're to tomorrow. We're off to 2 stops tomorrow, right? So tomorrow we're gonna stop by Spearhead. I don't know if any one of you here who are listening right now have ever tried the wine of Spearhead Winery on the east side of Kelowna. If you have in the past, feel free to leave me a note. I'm really curious about what you're thinking of Spearhead. Specialized on Pinot Noir. And so I would be pretty intrigued to see what you guys are, your thought on Spearhead can be, because I was pretty thrilled of what I tasted. So anyhow, we're going to stop at Spearhead tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we're having a pretty cool afternoon tomorrow. We've been invited for a barbecue at the BC Wine Studio, right in OK Falls, across the Skaha Lake, that where we're at here in Caledon. Stephen Carter and Valérie Tremblay, there are a couple there. They have their own label, the Carter Wine Company. I did a little show with Stephen a couple weeks ago regarding the Rising Star show, that I like to call it. But Stephen came on the show and we tasted his wine. This wine was pretty cool, very good actually. So anyway, so we're in the region, so he invited us for a barbecue at the BC Wine Studio, so we can go and visit the infrastructure of that interesting concept where they share space, they share knowledge, and for new winemaker where they can't afford to own a winery yet, so they can rent a spot there at the BC Wine Studio, source their grape from somewhere else, bring the grape there, and make their own wine. That's how Rob Amersley at Black Market started. That's how Mark Simpson is still there, but Mark now is very well established. He's the head winemaker. Actually, Mark called me today, so he wanted to chat. Anyhow, so the very nice, neat concept, and Stephen Carter is the owner of the BC Wine Studio. He came up with that idea. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're going to be there tomorrow afternoon. On Friday, I think, what do we have planned on Friday? Oh, we have Friday, for everyone who's listening, it's the Syrah experience on Friday, right? With Ross Wise and Glenn Fawcett from Black Hills Estate. We're going to do a 4 wines, ipso facto 17 and 18, Black Hills Syrah 17 and 18. So we're going to do that live with the winemaker and the former owner of Black Hills. So it'll be pretty cool as well, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm just I'm writing to Kelly and Greg there in Kelowna about Spearhead. My volume's off?
You're on mute.
No, I'm not. You can't hear me? No? Nothing? Okay, well, sorry. There's something wrong with my microphone. Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's you can't hear me at all? Geez, it's like this house is possessed with something. It is a 100-year-old house, so maybe it just doesn't like the technology. It just wants it to go out. Yeah, so Xavier can hear me.
Mira, people can't hear you, Mira. People cannot hear you.
They can. They can.
No, the comments are on. People can't hear you.
Oh, Carl. Okay, well, everyone says they can hear me.
Anyway, so it's 5 o'clock, so I guess we're gonna shut it down because we're experiencing here.
Yeah, everyone else can hear me. It's yours, I think, Carl. So that's okay. We should just go meet in the same room. Like, I'm just gonna go over to your room. How about that? Carl has gone deaf from the wine. He's pulling your leg. Yeah, you're pulling my leg. That's what they're saying. I think he actually can't hear me. That's pretty funny. Okay, I'm coming over there.
Okay, so now Instagram, I'm gonna say good night. Sorry, it was a little rocky here. Problem with the audio, problem with internet. So we'll see. We'll say good night. It's time.
It's time to go to bed.
It's time to go to bed. I have enough right now.
Too much technology problems.
Too much.
That should go down in the record, Carl. I think that this house is 100 years old and it's rebelling against the technology. I think that's the thing.
Okay.
So there you go. And so I hope you guys have an amazing night. Cheers.
Thank you.
If you're coming to the Syrah experience on Friday, you will get that link again in your inbox the next day or so as a reminder. So I hope you can stop by. That'll be fun with Ross Wise at Black Hills.
Ross Wise, Master of Wine, winemaker at Black Hills, and Glenn Fawcett, former owner. Glenn's going to give us a 15-minute rundown of all of the background, the past, the history of Black Hills. And Ross and I are going to go back and forth between the wine. So it's going to be fun. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. It was fun to have you on. If anyone is interested in that 3 packs of Rust Syrah, same vintage, just 3 different vineyards, shoot me a quick note. I think we have 25 boxes, 25 pack. It's not been released yet. It's pre-release, Carl's Wine Club only. So that's how we roll. There you go. We're pretty thrilled about that. So stay tuned. Shoot me a note. Shoot me an email. We'll put one aside for you. Okay, guys. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. However, wherever you are in the country, bonsoir. Un gros merci à tout le monde. J'ai même pas été en français, pas en tout, même pas une seconde aujourd'hui. Je suis désolé à tous nos amis du Québec, du Nouveau-Brunswick, tous les amateurs de vins canadiens francophones. Je viens de vous délaisser. Je suis désolé de ça. Je vais m'assurer que la semaine prochaine, j'en fais beaucoup plus en français. C'est pas cool. Donc, un beau bonjour, un beau merci à tout le monde de nous supporter, de supporter les producteurs de vins canadiens. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll chat with you very soon.